Well, hey guys, welcome back to Summer with Summer Sweet Shop. I am excited to be here because we're talking about something that so many cookiers deal with, and that is burnout. But today we're going to talk about how we go from burnout to booked out. So this is how really I took control of my cookie business. If you've ever felt like your cookie business is running you instead of the other way around, this video is for you. So for a long time, that was me. That was so true. I felt like my business was running my life versus the other way around. And many days they just kind of blurred into the same day after day. And I was in this continuous hamster wheel of custom orders. My inbox just felt very overwhelming. It felt like I had to say yes to every opportunity as I wanted my business to grow. And what happened was I became overcommitted to all those things that I said yes to. And I started looking at my profit and loss, and I was not making very much profit. And I was constantly overwhelmed. I was constantly in this state of I just got to keep my head above water. And I loved decorating cookies so much, but somewhere along the way, that passion really started to get to me, and it started to turn into pressure of, oh my gosh, I have to say yes to everything. I have to do all of these things to run a business. And instead of running my business from one end, it was like the business was running me, right? All of my business was, my life was trying to fit into the business instead of the other way around. And the turning point came when I realized something had to change. It was in December when I had Christmas cookies on every surface of my kitchen and dining room and breakfast area, all of the things, right? And I looked around and I was like, something has to change, because the way that I'm running this business, I cannot keep doing that. It was overwhelming. It was not sustainable because I was staying up late several nights a week. I was exhausted. I was missing out on things with friends. I was missing out on spending time with my family. And that was not what I wanted at all. That was not my goals. That was not what I intended whatsoever. So why did custom orders alone, why do they often lead to burnout? Well, custom orders, that's how most people start selling, is they start as this hobby. And then people want to order cookies from them, which is fantastic and great. And it gives you that validation. I always said that pickup day was my very favorite day because I loved getting to talk to my customers, and it really just filled my cup. Every Friday when those customers would pick up those orders and they were enthused and excited and just so pumped about their cookies, it just filled my cup so much. And it was really great to create those one-of-a-kind designs. It was great to be able to deliver a wonderful product to my customers that they were very pleased with. And while that was great, the reality was I was reinventing the wheel every single time. And it was just this churn and burn, right? This churn and burn. And I was always at the mercy of someone else's budget. I was having to figure out like what their budget was, like when we were going back and forth with the customer of what's your timeline, how much is in your budget for these cookies, what are their expectations and things like that. And to me, that felt like I didn't have control over the situation. And then the hours that I poured into these cookies, it didn't match the money that I saw in my bank account. And that was the biggest wake up call for me, was wait a second, I'm putting in all of this time and effort and that's all I'm bringing home. Like, that's it. And it was really frustrating. And, I wanted to be able to scale my business. I didn't want to open a brick and mortar. I didn't want to hire someone because I'm a home cottage baker. I didn't want to have all of that overhead. I didn't want to have somebody else in my house. So how could I scale this business? What could I do to grow those profits, but not be stuck in this cycle of the hustle and exhaustion that comes with custom orders? Because I knew one thing for sure was it wasn't just I need to take on more orders. I learned very quickly that that was not the answer and not what I needed to do. It wasn't, oh, I can just make more orders. If I had more time in my day, if I could just crank out more orders, that's how I could have more profit. And that is not true. So the power of batching, using templates, and really streamlining my systems is what changed everything for me. So the first change that I made was I stopped treating every order like it was brand new. And instead I started to build systems. I know you're thinking like, well, what does that even look like? Well, I started batching my baking and my icing. So that I wasn't starting from scratch every time I had an order come in. I wasn't turning on the oven and making my cookies and then making my batch of icing, right? I was batching that so I would have my weeks prepared. So I knew what cookies I needed to bake for the week. So I'm baking everything in one day. My icing, I would make all of my icing in one day. I would color it all in one day. Sometimes I would color as I go if I had a really heavy load of cookies to decorate. And I wasn't having to go back and forth with turning on my oven, getting out my rolling pin, turning on my mixer, right? I was able to batch those things, and that helped me to streamline that process. The second thing I started to do was use templates. I love using templates. I say that like I could templatize my entire life, I would do it, because if I have a template, I am golden. Make me start it from scratch. That's going to take a little bit longer. But when I have a template for my emails, when I have a template for my order forms, when I have a template for the class outlines that I am doing, man, like I said, I am golden. I can import and customize that for that customer or that class or my business. And it makes it so easy that I can just rinse and repeat. So that saves me so much time. Also, it makes it consistent for that customer. They're not seeing different order forms every time they come to the website. They're not seeing different email formats every time they are emailing me and getting an invoice from me, right? It's that consistency, which is going to make you more professional. The other thing I did was I streamlined more systems in my business. So I figured out a great way to organize my cutters. I organize them in shoebox bins so that I can see what is in there. And I really organize my packaging. So when it comes to my holiday pre-sales, I do as much packaging ahead of time, assembly, that I can. So I will be assembling, cutting out tags, I will be assembling boxes, all of those things ahead of time so that I'm not scrambling at the last minute going, oh my goodness, now my cookies are ready. I've got to start packaging and I got to start putting together boxes, right? So I was able to plan a lot of things in advance, and that helped so much. Those small tweaks, that's what I always say, it's those small tweaks that make a huge difference in hours every week, and that just compounds over and over time. So that really then gave me mental clarity that I was so lacking. That mental clarity I need. It's like when you clean out a closet and you just feel so much better. You're so much more productive. It's a total mind thing. And so when you have your systems in your business working for you and not you working for them, it makes it so much easier, and you're going to be more productive. You're going to have more joy, and your customers are going to be happier, right? So how did I create this consistent income with less chaos? So the real game changer was also repeatable offers. And what does that mean? So instead of chasing those custom orders like I was doing all the time of like, I gotta have more orders, I gotta get more orders if I want to have more profit, I started creating offers that I could repeat. And what that means is I started creating and focusing on my holiday pre-orders because I knew those are things that I could repeat. They're sellable. They're things that my customers are wanting, whether that's mini cookies or single cookies or tall cookies in a bag, right? Those are ones that I knew my customers wanted. They're drawn to that, and I could repeat. Again, rinse and repeat that over and over again. I also did this with cookie classes. I started teaching cookie classes and started saying I can rinse and repeat with different themes these cookie classes. So it made it super easy for me to prep for that class because I had a system that I could go by. So with these repeatable offers, I could, number one, plan ahead. Number two, I really simplified my workload. And number three, I actually was able to predict my income. It wasn't this pie in the sky. How much is it going to be this month? I knew and could predict what my income was going to be based on doing those pre-sales and those classes for my business. So that consistency really gave me freedom to say no to those orders that did not bring me joy, those orders that did not fit into my schedule. And it really gave me freedom to spend time with my family, to go and do the things that I wanted to do. And it really helped me to fall back in love with cookies and the whole reason why I started my business. So I want you to learn how you can do this. Everything that I just shared, these systems, these repeatable offers, these strategies, those are all things that we teach inside of Next Level Cookie Club. They are all ones how to get more profit without having to take more orders, right? How to have your business without staying up late all night. I did a reel on that just last week on, hey, you can make a good profit on your business without having to stay up late, right? That's our goal. That should be our hashtag cookier goal, right? So it's where cookiers like you have learned how to price with confidence. You have been able to jump in the Next Level Cookie Club and learn how to plan with ease so that you're not stressed out, you're not in this chaos, and you're able to actually grow your business to what it is that you have wanted to do. Maybe you've wanted to do it for several months. Maybe it's been several years of what you had as a plan for your business and you haven't been able to obtain that. That's what Next Level Cookie Club is going to help you do and give you these systems, give you these plans, give you these strategies so that you're not just spinning your wheels all the time. So would love to have you join us in Next Level Cookie Club. You can join us right now. The information is below. So make sure you subscribe and join us inside Next Level because I want to help you get your business to those goals so that you are more profitable and you can grow your business. So you don't have to be stuck in this cycle of burnout of like, this is how it's always going to be. Absolutely not. With those right systems and the right offers for your business, you can go from just barely making it through, like I was, barely keeping your head above water, to really being booked out, being profitable, and being back in control of your business. Thanks so much, guys, for being here. I can't wait to see you in Next Level Cookie Club. Come join me, and we are going to make your business such a change, and you're going to be so proud of it. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys next time.